Welcome to the Car Guys and welcome to another Supercar Daily episode where I go through and complete some of the little nagging jobs that need to be done when running a garage of this size. We've got quite a few tasks to get through today. I know that some of you in the comments have said how much you like these episodes, even though they might seem mundane. A lot of you really like the detail and the fact that it reveals exactly what needs to go on in the humdrum daily life of a car guy. So I thought absolutely no problem, my friends. Let's do another episode. So this week I've had a double failure on my Porsche. The GT3 Touring and the 718 Spyder both have failures of their dynamic engine mounts, strangely on the same day. They are also both due for servicing, so I've got to go and pick up the 718 from the Porsche dealership and I've got to take the GT3 Touring down. So that's two jobs today. I've also got to take this 458 Italia out and put some miles on it for a special event. I'm also picking up the BMW 750 from its restoration, so that's pretty exciting. I've also got to take out the 458 Speciale Aperta. That's due for the last of its free services from Ferrari. So I've got to take that out, warm it up, and then get it over to the Meridien service centre. So lots to do, better get on with it. So first order of the day then is to take this GT3 Touring to the Porsche official dealer to drop it off for servicing and also to get sorted the dynamic engine mounts, because this car, on the very same day that the 718 Spyder had the same fault, is registering a PADM failure. Now I didn't know what that meant, but I'm reliably informed it's to do with dynamic engine mounts which are failing quite a bit, and the problem with that is that they cost £1,500 to replace, and Porsche dealers will very often try and get you to replace both when only one is actually necessary. It's a bit annoying. It could be costly because I believe this car is out of warranty, but we'll find out that later. So here it is, the 718 Spyder is back in the Car Guys garage. I've just picked it up from Porsche Bournemouth. It's been fully serviced, it's had its recalls dealt with, and it's now just waiting for those pesky dynamic engine mounts. Now those engine mounts are not in stock. No one knows when they are going to be back in stock at Porsche. So I thought rather than have the cars both left there at the dealership, let's bring it back to the garage. Let's have a bit of fun with it, because of course you can still drive the car even with the engine mount problem, which does beg the question, why do you need them and why do they cost £1,500? But at least the car is back here and safe, and I can have a play with it while I'm waiting. There is literally no idea from Porsche when these parts are going to be back in, so that's both the GT3 and this car affected, but you can at least drive them, so it's not the end of the world. You'll remember, of course, this has recently gone on that epic 100 Spyders celebration on the 4th of May. So that's two Car Guys garage jobs out of the way today. GT3 there, this one back. Now we're on to the next one, which is I've got to get the white 458 Italia out of the garage. Now I'm reliably informed that this white 458 Italia, one of the finest cars that I've ever driven, is wanted at a special supercar event that's being organised by chef James Martin. Out of all the cars, out of the other cars that were submitted to him from the Car Guys garage, this is the one that he apparently chose. So it's going to be out on the lawn at Chewton Glen for a special event, and I really need to therefore start it up because it's not been driven for a while. Let's get some fluids through it, let's get it warmed up, take it for some test runs, make sure it's running perfectly, and then you'll probably see this car on Instagram at that event. Then I'm off to First Choice Detailing to pick up, at last, the BMW 750i E38. That's right, the epic restoration is almost complete, but everything that Jake at FCD needed to do has been done, which means that the only thing left is to fix the sagging headliner that a lot of you noticed in the previous video on this car. I've arranged for a local upholsterer, Kevin Baggs, to sort that out for me. So I'm going to get the car back here and then I'm going to take it down to Kevin at a later date so that he can fix it. And then the 750 will be perfect. And we'll take it out for a full drive. Jason will come along and we'll remind ourselves of just how fantastic the E38 750 really is. I think you all recognise this one. This is my 458 Speciale Aperta in the triple layer yellow with the Nart stripe. This car is now 7 years old. Can you believe it? I picked it up in August 2015 at the Ferrari factory. Now it's due for its last free service. You get 7 years free servicing with Ferrari, and then after that, the bills start coming in. So today what I've got to do is start up the car, warm it up, take it for a drive, and then drop it off at Meridien Modena for that service, which with a car like this is, of course, never a chore. And here we are, folks, in my Ferrari 458 Speciale Aperta. As you'll recall, it is in dazzling triple layer yellow. It is a perfectly sunny day now, so it was a bit muggy earlier, but actually now it's lovely and sunny, so I've got some more appropriate attire on, and I'm taking this car to Meridien Modena for it to get serviced. It's actually the last free service that this car is going to have, so that means I've had it for 7 years. You get 7-year free servicing. This is the last one, so next year I'm actually going to have to pay to get this car serviced, and the more cynical of you would assume that next year there'll all of a sudden be a massive bill of all the things that they've been saving up for the last 7 years, but I'm sure that won't happen. It also needs an MOT, so we'll get that done at the same time, and that means that this car then will be ready for the rest of the summer. And I have to say, getting back into the seat of the 458 Speciale is a breath of fresh air, because this is a stunning car. You will find out more when I do a whole brand new episode of this for #DriveEveryFerrari. But the moment you get in this car, the lightness of the response, the way everything works, the sound, just the whole open-top experience, it really is a very special car, this. No wonder they called it the Speciale. I love the way that the Nart stripe contrasts against the triple layer yellow, and when you've got full sun on it like now, it just looks perfect. I do have a bit of a thing about Nart stripes, so maybe I'll have to bring one of those onto a car in the future. What do you think? Yes, I agree. When I come to collect this car, I'm going to then take and swap over my 458 Italia. That also is getting its last ever free service. So that'll be my two main new Ferraris sorted, and then I'll have to check to see what's needed on the Pista Spyder. You all said that you enjoy these sort of more daily humdrum tasks in the life of a supercar garage, and it doesn't get more mundane than driving a car to get it serviced. I know you could probably get it collected, but then I guess there's some additional cost. I personally like to drive the cars. I like to remind myself of how good they are, and I like to drop them off and also have a bit of a chat as well at the dealer. One thing that's searing into my eyeballs right now is the mileometer, and I can see that I've just tipped over to 8,000 miles in this car. So I've had it 7 years, and we've done 8,000 miles, which doesn't sound a lot per year, but I'm willing to bet it's one of the higher mileage Apertas out there. What's that? I hear you cry? You want some beans? Well, all right then, since it's you. Here we go then. Ready? Ready? You see, that's what this car is all about. But now let's get this old banger over to Meridien, drop it off, maybe have a spot of lunch. Here I am then back in the GT3 Touring. I've just picked it up from Porsche Bournemouth. It's had a lot of work done actually. I put it in for a simple service. Turned out it was a big service. Loads of fluids, spark plugs, etc. So that's like 2,000 quid apparently. Then they found 2 cuts in 2 tyres, which means I needed 4 new tyres. 4. And then of course I had to get the dynamic engine mounts sorted as well, which of course was out of warranty. So it's had an awful lot of work done, and it's been there a long time. And yes, the bill was eye-watering. Remember, I've not just long picked up the car from Porsche Bournemouth, where they had to do £6,000 worth of mouse damage repair. But what perhaps was more painful was the customer service. You see, I arranged to pick up the car at a specific time, and I arrived at that time. And when I got there, the service representative went into a meeting in a glass cube right in front of me and sat there quite happily chatting for the next 15 minutes whilst I sat there and watched. I don't think that is the right thing to do. I don't think that is good customer service. If you've got someone who's picking up their car and they're having to fulfill quite a big bill, and you need to soothe the trauma of that bill with perhaps some good service, I think just ignoring them and leaving them waiting is not the right way to go about it. So I have to say, I'm pretty angry actually. I think the way I was treated there was not acceptable, and it does question yet again why even bother bringing my cars to these people. It's really sad. It's so easy to do customer service well, and it's even easier, it would seem, to do it really, really badly. So now I've got my GT3, so I'm happy, and I was treated badly, so I'm quite annoyed. Swings and roundabouts of the Supercar garage. Thank you for watching this episode on another one of my Supercar dailies and the general humdum jobs that need to be done to keep a garage like this going. If you like what we're doing on the Car Guys, please subscribe, leave comments and likes. There'll be another episode next week.